All right, let's do some intros. Gus, tell us a little bit about yourself really quick.
So Gus Munoz Castro, founder, CEO of Power ISA. My normal gig is helping real estate agents hire, train, manage human ISAs, like people making phone calls, whether it's outbound prospecting, inbound lead conversion, follow-up response, database reactivation, anything to do with phone calls and real estate is normally what I do. Tied to that, related to that, we're also doing some really awesome work with AI voice and AI calling. And that's what we're going to talk about today. But that's, it's a brand new thing. But the goal is the same. Help agents get more deals, talk to more people, and close more transactions.
I love that. All right, how about you, Grigor?
Hey, I'm Grigor from Skoola. So I'm the senior media buyer there, managing the media buying team and also helping out with some other things. So I'll be discussing a little bit about what kind of ads we ran for this case study that Gus will be showcasing, and explaining a little bit behind the scenes what's going on to actually get to these phone calls.
All right, I love that. And you've got a presentation, man. That's a great title, by the way.
It's good, right? I get better at this now. Eventually.
It is a very good title. It got me. You sent an email yesterday, and I was like, I copy pasted it and I sent it over to Gus, and I was like, that's a good title, man. I like that one.
It's good. It's good. Yeah. There's some new stuff. I've talked about this topic, a couple times this year already. But there's some really cool insights in this one that I thought was really useful, so people can get educated on the topic. AI calling, AI voice, is out there. But let's get rolling. I think we got a good amount of people here. Holy cow! There's a ton of people here. It's the Tristan effect, man. I knew it. You're here to see Tristan. Well, sorry, they're going to see Gus too. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Too bad. All right. So welcome everybody.
Peaky Blinder.
Peaky Blinder Gus. Happy Halloween. We're recording this on October 31st. So hey, hopefully everybody's seeing what on their way to taking their kids to trick-or-treating or something, picking up the costume. So, we know it. We know the hustle. Let's jump right into it. So today we're going to talk about really, really straightforward. I'm going to do a quick overview because I love doing that for those folks that are new to the topic, state of the art of AI voice, what it means. I'm going to jump right into a case study that we did. We just finished it up here early October. It was awesome. I'm going to do a live demo of what these calls sound like, because that's probably the second most common question. What does it sound like, Gus? Because some of this stuff sounds like garbage. What's going on? So I'll show you some real unedited, unfluffed, no vaporware, real calls. And then at the end, I've got a special offer. Not one, not two, but 3 special offers. So you want to stick around to the end. We're going to blow right past this one. Let's go, guys. Let's jump right into it. All right. Quickly. If you are in the media, you might have noticed there's an election coming up. Maybe not. You might live under a rock. But even that's been impacted by AI voice. We're seeing artists in the music industry and the acting industry suing people for allegedly cloning their voices. There was a big story about that a few months ago. And even the SAG-AFTRA, if you're in the Los Angeles area, you know what that means. If not, you might not know. It's a huge union for actors, okay? They're working on a deal to get paid. They want to get paid if people use AI voices. People clone people's voices, or they'll reuse them, or they'll make movies and content out of people's AI voice clones. A lot of voice cloning going on. So there's a lot of stuff happening right now, and there's always new ones. There's a lot of companies that are playing in this space. Ylopo, who's really popular here with Lab Code Agents. We have Thoughtly, 11 Labs. You might have heard of that company. Synthflow. It's a UK-based company. They're doing a lot of work, and they're building like foundational tools or applications. Ylopo has an application that they're building to handle this for real estate, right? They want to build tools, or they want to build infrastructure so that we can use it for real estate to convert more leads. But guess what, guys? This is hot off the press. This is in the last 2 weeks. The gorilla in the room when it comes to AI, OpenAI, have just launched a native API to handle voice. A native API to handle voice. What does that mean? It means some of the companies I just mentioned in the previous slide might go out of business because this happened. This is brand new. We're just barely testing this out. We haven't done a case study. This might be the next one, Tristan. The next case study. How do we do with OpenAI's new
I
real-time
love that.
API.
Yes, I love that. It's probably
It'll be
going to be
cool.
way awesome.
It's, you know, usually what they do, they only release stuff when it's pretty well done. It'll probably be way faster than a lot of these other tools because you're going to go straight to the source. A lot of them use OpenAI underneath, right? Some OpenAI model, either on the text side or maybe even on the voice side. So I think this would be really awesome. It would be very interesting. This is brand new. This is only a few weeks old. New real-time API, and they've already made like 3 revisions to it just this month. So OpenAI knows this is a huge area opportunity, and they're jumping right in. Great. And you know, if you can see this, this is a Power ISA voice implementation. It's what we call our AI, you know, calling system, Power ISA voice. You can actually choose that, like, hey, which you know, underlying large language model, like which model do you want to use? You want to use GPT 4.0 for Mini, Claude, or this or that. I mean, honestly, we're moving to a world where we should be agnostic to these models, right? Like, I want to use this model to convert Facebook leads. Which one? Let's see which one works the best. Who cares which one it is? I don't really particularly care. If it's effective, that's the one I want to use. And that's the world we're moving to, where every time OpenAI or Anthropic or any one of these companies, 11 Labs, they launch a new large language voice model, let's try it out and see what happens. And that's what we're doing here at Power ISA. Great. All right. This is the #1 question. I got this question as we were advertising this webinar. Gus, I actually got this question from a mutual friend from Dale, Archdeacon, like a coach. What's going on with the compliance side? I thought this was illegal. Thought we can't use AI to make phone calls. What's up with that? And there's definitely some clarity on the compliance side, on the legislation. What we know so far, the only like formal piece of legislation we have on this topic came from the FCC, and this came in February. Okay, they're saying that for purposes of the U.S., when you're using AI to make phone calls, they're going to hold it to the same standard as a robocall. Okay, robocall, which in the U.S. it is illegal to use robocalls for unsolicited calls. Okay, you cannot use it for unsolicited calls. So cold calling's out of the question. And Tristan, you might, you know, I don't know if you noticed this a year ago. People were going nuts with these tools, like Air AI and some of the other tools. They got into a lot of trouble because I had clients, you know, not doing it with me, but they were doing it 100,000 outbound calls a day in one day.
You saw that TikTok that went viral where
with Air, from Air, right?
No, there was I don't know who it was, but it was a Keller Williams agent who was using AI, and then the person they were calling just started asking it to read a book or something along those lines. Remember that one? That one went viral.
Yeah, you know, and there was, you know, there's a novelty factor to that, right? People think this is cool, but this is interesting. Well, FCC came down a few months ago and said, okay, stop. No, this is not cool anymore, right? Let's put some ground rules. Let's put some, you know, let's put some careful consideration here. And they said you can do AI calls. You can do that, but you have to use the highest standard known to man, which is express written consent. Okay. That's a legal term, right? I got to know what that means. What it means is, you know, when you submit a lead form, whether it's on Zillow or Facebook or on your own Google PPC site, there's a little checkbox there. I don't know if you've noticed that or not. The little checkbox that says, hey, it's okay to text me. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. Every lead source should have that or has that already. That's what it means. It means you can't, at least you can't legally text someone to their mobile phone in the US for commercial purposes unless you have a checkbox like that, right? You can't do it, at least not compliantly. That is the same standard that they want to apply to AI voice. You cannot do AI voice without having a clear express consent little checkbox under the submit button that clearly says you can call them with AI voices. What do I mean by that? We've got some examples. Zillow, okay? Zillow already has this. That's the little checkbox under the submit button that says, hey, by pressing this, you're giving us permission to text you, to call you, or robocall you, which is the technical term for AI voice, right? You can actually check it out here. Pre-recorded artificial voices. That's the legal term for AI. Zillow's already doing it. If you check out Realtor.com, same thing, guys. Pre-recorded an artificial voice. You're giving us permission to call you, text you, or AI voice call you. That's what's going on in the industry. They've been doing this for months, Tristan, like at least since January when we checked. They're already collecting the consent just in case, or they're probably already testing out their AI voice assistants, or their lawyers told them to get going with that. My recommendation to everyone here on this webinar, whether you work with us or not, whoever you're working with, you should add this to your express written consent text. You should add it in there, okay? Whether you're doing Facebook leads or Google leads, whether you're buying them, maybe the vendor you're using already has it. Maybe they do. I'm sure Ylopo already has this, but maybe other companies don't. You should ask them to put this in there. Why? Because you might call people with AI voice, maybe not now, but definitely in the future. You should get express written consent. You don't lose anything by asking for it, okay? And they'll be really, really handy in the future. Okay, great. Awesome. That is the overview. That's a preamble. Let's jump right into it. Case study. 22 seller appointments set for Matt McCormick. How did that happen? Great. So I want to talk about this case study in two different terms, right? You've got to solve two problems when you're solving a problem like getting more appointments, right? Through internet leads. There's two problems you have to solve. One of them is a creative problem. Okay, Tristan? This is the messaging. This is the photo you use on the ad. This is the call to action. There's a creative aspect to that, okay? There's a marketing aspect to that. And that's the one we like as agents. Like, hey, I want a great looking ad. I want a great, great call to action. I want a great picture. I want a picture of me. Don't run that ad, but I want them to look great. All those things, right? But there's a second problem you need to solve. And this is where agents usually drop the ball. Okay. They solve the first problem, creative, great looking ad, great call to action, great offer. People click on it. And then what happens, right? Like you pick up the phone, maybe you call them once, maybe you text them once, and then maybe you call them a couple of days later, and that's usually it, guys. Okay, if you don't get an answer, most agents just don't know how to do the conversion the right way. Okay, you got to solve both problems. You can't just do this kind of half-assed. You got to solve both problems if you want to be successful, and that's how we approached this case study. So I got my buddy here, Grigor, from Mescula. They are a marketing agency, and they partnered with us on this case study. They were gracious enough to basically lend us one of their clients. Already was working with them, and they, in fact, they already had an ISA team. I know because I helped them build it. Okay, they had an in-house ISA team working. It's a very, very large marketing agency, and I said, guys, we got to try AI voice because I know you guys do a great job on the creative side. This is the kind of campaign they ran. But I need to test out a new conversion strategy. But I want to give you guys the overview. Grigor, why don't you tell us a little bit about the kind of campaign that was run to generate these kind of results?
Yeah, for sure. So, first of all, thanks for having me on. What I wanted to start with is the truth is in every market, in every city, as small as it is, as big as it is, there are tons of people that want to sell. They might not know that they want to sell, but what's really interesting is that their behavior tells Facebook that they do. So the idea is with these ads, what we want to do is position our offer in a way that speaks to this person's like desires that they have that they might not even be aware of. It might sound a little woo-woo, but the idea is if you've been thinking about something, you might not even realize you're thinking about it, but your behavior tells the algorithm that, hey, this person might qualify for this offer, which the offer that we go for, and it's working extremely, extremely well to actually produce listings, is a home valuation ad. And why that works so well is because it's a value first kind of offer. So we're giving value. We are giving a promise of value. The way that can you hear me well, by the way, or is there some echo?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Perfect. So what we go with is the home value ad. Now, what you're seeing here on this right-hand side is a screenshot of one of the ads variations that we've run for Matt. And the idea behind it is every single ad that we do, it has a very similar ad copy. So the ad copy is the text at the top. You can see it starts with calling out the homeowners. And by the way, if you ever run ads, highly recommend to actually do that and call out the person you want to reach. And then it basically asks them a question that will trigger their interest. It follows up with a promise. And then the last line is just a call to action. You can tell it's super simple. It's very easy to replicate. And it works great. Now, the image itself, now that is the most important part of this whole puzzle with the ad itself. Why? Because the image is the first thing that anyone is going to see when they scroll on Facebook or when they go through stories or when they go through reels. The image needs to be something that is, number one, catchy in the sense that it actually shows them something that they can resonate with, can relate to, and something that they don't see often. So what you're going to see often, if you ever go and, you probably do get a lot of ads from other realtors in your area. What you might see is a lot of real estate agents running ads with them on the ad with their phone number and saying, hey, call me here, text me there, email me here, all of these different things. And then the person who's seeing this ad is like, oh, this is just some other real estate agent, not interested. What they almost never see until we come into their market is this kind of thing. Like, hey, let me give you something of value. Let me and educate you on your own house so that, since you are thinking about selling, then you can actually be informed and educated about this decision, which is one of the biggest decisions they're ever going to make in their lives, right? So you can see, by the way, the screenshot there, it's not just a random image. That is a satellite shot of Moncton, which is where Matthew is in. And so if you're not in Moncton, you're going to see that and you're like, oh, whatever. But if you're in Moncton, oh, I know that street. I know that road. I know this. I know that. And then what you see there as well,
Looks familiar. Looks familiar.
yeah, exactly. It's familiarity. And what you see, those little squares thing, the resolution is not really great here, but those are just screenshots of some listings in that area. So then it gives them as well you're already giving them a value even up front because you're already showing them like, hey, houses around your city are about, this price range. And then you see the what is your property worth line, which is like, instilling that thought in their minds. And then the bottom there, you see there's the link and the button. So another thing with the ad itself, the process, how it works is somebody sees the ad, they click on it because they're interested, and they go through a questionnaire. So it's a web page, a landing page, and it's not a lead form. So that's a key difference here as well. Lead forms are great if you just want to put up some ads really quick. But what mostly happens is you get low quality leads. And by low quality, I mean fake phone numbers and fake emails because it just gets preloaded. So whenever you created your Facebook account, Facebook saved your information. And now when you go to fill out a lead form, it automatically pre-fills that info there. And so you might get people who created a Facebook account, 10 years ago, and they had a different phone number and a different email and maybe fake info as well. And now you're getting that as a lead, right? So using a little web page that, is on the internet, it also has a pixel attached to it. I'll get to that in just a second, and let me know, Gus, if I'm going over my time limit. But
You're
that
good.
questionnaire asks a few qualifying questions in addition to asking for their contact information. And like Gus mentioned before, it does obviously have the little tick box saying that, yes, I agree to be contacted, et cetera, et cetera. So if you're curious, by the way, those questions are full address of the property, relationship to the address, when they're planning on selling, and the contact details. So
Gregor, we have a really good question here related to the funnel. So you like I mentioned, you've got this ad, you got the creative, this is what it looks like, and then it sends you to like the questionnaire. A question from Mohammed here is, does it send them the market report automatically when they send their information, or do you guys wait until you've contacted them before sending out that? That's a question I get very frequently. Do you guys automate that piece of the home valuation given the address they send you, or is it like a manual process? What do you guys usually do here?
That's a really good question. So I'll give the reason first and then the answer. So the idea is you want to run this ad in order to meet people face to face. And the way you meet people face to face is first you need to talk to them on the phone. Obviously, you can have your AI agent talk to them on the phone as well and via text. but you need to get that in person, right? In order to even talk to them on the phone, there has to be a reason for that, right? And if you're just spoon feeding them a random number, which usually isn't that accurate to what their property is really worth, then you're not even giving them the right service that you know that they need, right? And the idea is we don't give them an automated number. What happens is right after they submit their information, there's a booking page that comes up, and then it explains to them, to book a phone appointment. If they don't book a phone appointment to actually get an accurate estimation from you as an agent, the AI then goes in and attempts to book that appointment for you. And it's pre-built with the correct, scripts and everything, like a sales agent, basically, to get them on your calendar on a phone appointment, right? That the system as well, it doesn't, so you're not, you should never basically put yourself in a position where you go into a contract agreement in a way to, like, if they put their address, you must give them a price, because that doesn't serve you and it doesn't serve them either, technically, because you can't really judge the house value based on just, some data and some estimations from the city and stuff like that.
Yeah, 100%, Gregor. I can't agree with you more. The whole goal of this is to get conversations started, start a dialogue, start a conversation, and more importantly, add value. Like help them out. They've got some questions. They might not, and I'll get into the conversion side in a sec. But it shouldn't be about like when do you want to sell? Like how can I help you sell your home? That's not what they asked for. It's not what they asked for. That's not how you should start the conversation. That's not how the AI starts the conversation, right? So you should focus it on what they requested. What did they contact you for? What's your property worth, right? And how can you get them the best valuation for their property, the most accurate? Taking a quick look at the property. That everything, the AI, because Mescula has a human ISA team. They've got an AI chatbot, bot, and they got an AI voice call. There's everyone, and then there's the agent calling them too, guys. Like, there's the agents trying to book them on their own. So they got everyone trying to hit them up. But the goal is to add some value, get them an accurate, property value. And, if they're, I know you're not thinking of selling, I'll show you the script. It literally says, I know you're not thinking of selling, but if you ever were, right, this is why this would be useful. A more accurate valuation might make a lot more sense. So I think that's really it. Because there's a lot of home valuation ads out there. Many companies do them. Most agents fail with these ads. I'm just going to go out and say it. They convert very, very low with these ads compared to buyer ads, even. The reason is, from my opinion, what I usually see is that they misunderstand where the lead is at. Okay. Lead comes in and they have a question about what's their property worth. That's all. That's the in. That's the way in. That's the conversation starter. And agents, they think it's a listing appointment. And it's not. Okay. It's not, even if they want to list in the next 90 days, 120 days, that's not what they're contacting you for. And that's usually where the disconnect is. Okay. So, Gregor, I'm going to jump into the next one. Let's keep going. If you want to throw anything else out there, let me know. But let's jump into the next part of it. This is how we set up the creative, and the great folks at Nest will help this out. Oh, we had a couple more questions here. What funnel software do you guys use to build this out? I mean, is that something that's super secret, something you can share? I'm not sure what exactly the answer to that would be, but that's another question we got.
Yeah, sure. So we have our own, we have basically our custom CRM that we build on top of a base high-level CRM. So if that answers your question. Another thing I just wanted to mention real quick is the reason why these kinds of ads actually outperform the others, it's just a numbers game. So what I mean by that is when you're a real estate agent and you're trying to run these ads, these fancy ads with a bunch of stuff on them, with your phone number, all that stuff, what happens is people don't care, so they just keep scrolling. And what that tells
100%.
Facebook is, all right, well, if people keep scrolling and they just don't stay, they don't interact with that ad in any way, well, it's probably not a valuable piece of content, so we just won't show it as much. And so what happens is your cost to reach 1,000 people just keeps going up and up and up and up and up, while this kind of ad cost keeps going down and down and down the longer it runs. So like I'm not gonna be kidding with you guys. Like there have been locations and clients and accounts where we had ads, the same ad running for over a year. I'm not kidding. It happened multiple times. And the reason that happens is, and it keeps performing, obviously, that's why we keep it running. It's not like it's, we're just wasting money. The reason that happens is because people keep interacting with the ad. When they see this, they just stop scrolling. You're like, oh, where's my house? Is my house closer to the point on the left or to the point on the right? So that's kind of the interaction that happens. There's other kinds of ads where people, reply in the comments and they're asking questions. So they're liking, they're sharing. So that's the secret sauce. If you're able to make an ad where people stop scrolling for multiple seconds and even like it or comment, you've got a winner.
It's a winner. It's a winner. 100%. It's all going to be based on that interaction. And that is, that's why I brought in the folks from Muscula. I think they do a great job. They're experts on the creative side, but I'm not an expert on the creative side. I'm a phone call guy. I'm a conversion guy, which is why I'm happy to jump it over and talk about conversion. Okay, great. That's how we set up the creative side. That's why we brought, Grigor and their team. But what happens after that? Okay, the person is interested. They're engaging with the creative. Okay, what happens next? This is the kind of conversion setup that Muscula has for all their clients, but we work with them to help them set this up. Human ISA, working a fixed shift Monday to Friday. They have a goal, 5-minute speed to lead, 10 plus call attempts within the first 30 days. This is robust. This is pretty awesome. This is a great, conversion setup. On top of that, we added for this case study, it was the first one, an AI ISA through Power ISA Voice working 24/7. Okay. Instant response, but a limited campaign, 7 calls in the first 7 days. You got to start somewhere. Okay. 7 calls the first 7 days. And we wanted to see, would that make any difference? Okay. In addition to this, they have like I mentioned, AI texting. They have Matt, the agent that we did this for, making calls on his own. So there's a lot. I'm going to talk about the results that we achieved with the ISAs. Okay. I'm not going to be counting, the 22 appointments we're talking about. Those didn't come from self-booking, because a lot of people on this skill ads, they book on their own. I'll just click on the calendar and just book. I'm not counting those. I'm not counting the AI texting appointments because AI texting can get people to respond. And I'm not counting the ones that Matt kind of did on his own, which is awesome. He's actually a really good agent. But I'm not counting those either. I'm only counting ISA enabled ones. Okay. So let's go next one. This is an example of what the AI and really what the ISA as well, the human ISA was doing. Like, hey, contact, lead. Hey, this is Kate. I'm an AI assistant with Matt McCormick. Got your message through Facebook and, about a free home valuation. Is that right? That's the starting point. That's the entry point into the conversation. Really simple. And here's the close. And then it goes into a conversation, not about listing, not about home sale, but it talks about the condition of the property. You'll hear it on the demo. It goes to tries to have a little bit of a conversation with them about the property, about the condition. Roger that. I know you're not ready to sell right now, but I'd love to provide you with a package. The next step is for me to send this information to Matt and see if he can go over the results with you. Okay. Does 3 or 10 or 3 work for you tomorrow? And that's it, guys. Like, that is the flow. That is the goal of the AI. And to how I just sent the ISA, they're trying to get a conversation started between the agent, Matt, and the lead. That's the goal. That's what we want to achieve. Okay. All right. So great, Gus. That's the setup. That's the case study. Ran this for a month. What happened? Here are the results. I think this is really interesting. Check this out. Leads generated. This is for this window of time, 111 brand new inbound Facebook leads generated. Leads contacted. Again, I'm only talking about AI, an ISA calling, human ISA, and an AI ISA. This is not the full picture because these numbers are actually pretty good. When you add on everything else, they're even better. But I'm only talking about the part that we impacted. 35 leads contacted out of 111. Appointments booked 22, which I think was awesome. Contact rate, about 31%. Okay. Again, not counting SMS, not counting Matt, just the ISA and the AI, about 31% within 30 days, which is not bad for Facebook. Appointment set rate, 20%. That's awesome for Facebook because I do a lot of Facebook with ISAs, like human ISAs. I do a lot of this. This is more than the average. Average is about 10%. This is almost double what the average is, right? It's really good result. A human ISA working with AI. But check this out, okay? This is how many appointments the human ISA booked, okay, guys? Of those 22, Human ISA did 5 appointments. AI did 17. Okay. The
Wow.
AI bot. So this is the first case study that we're involved in, Power ISA, where the AI actually outperformed the human. Okay. We hadn't seen this before. Hadn't happened. Right. And again, we started doing these case studies earlier in the year, which in terms of AI is like ages ago, early 2024. October 2024 is a completely different tool set than we had at the beginning of the year. This is the first time we've seen this happen. All right. So I thought that was pretty wild that we're able to get this kind of result. Having a human and an ISA kind of working together, kind of working in tandem. This is wild. If you guys want to look at like the detailed case study and some great recommendations, this is Matt McCormick. He's awesome. You can check. I'll give you this deck at the end. By the way, you can check this out. This is on my YouTube channel. He kind of went into a lot of detail on how he talked about the other part of this equation, which is what does he do to close these leads? Because Muscula and Power ISA, we can do all these things to do amazing, get you in front of these people. You still got to close them. And you got to follow up with them, right? And you got to make sure that they sign on the dotted line. Matt goes into that detail. But I want to show you guys, this part of it. I want to give you a quick demo. Okay, this is a demo of what this looks like from the AI side. This is a real appointment set. This is not edited. There's no vaporware. There's no fluff here. This is the actual raw phone call with, mistakes and everything. Okay. So check this out. This is what a typical phone call sounded like. And let me know, guys, if you can hear this. Okay.
Hello.
Hey, Jay. This is Kate, an AI assistant with Matt McCormick's team.
Can you guys hear that? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, great. Awesome. Yeah, and they identify themselves, right? Hey, I'm an AI assistant with Matt McCormick's team, right? That's another part of the compliance aspect. You gotta let them know this is not a real person calling. Don't let them know right at the back. We got a Harry Potter. Man, Tristan, I didn't know you went full Harry Potter while I was looking at the deck here. So you're looking great, man. Looking great. All right, cool. So let's keep it going. I'm gonna restart that. I want to make sure you guys could hear it.
Hello.
Hey, Jay. This is Kate, an AI assistant with Matt McCormick's team. We got your message from Facebook about getting a free home evaluation. Is that right?
Yes.
Great. So I need to go over some quick questions about your home. What's the overall condition? Have you remodeled in the past 5 years?
No.
That's all right.
The timing's not good right now. Can you call me back like around 5:15, like I kind of asked?
I completely understand. I want to make this as convenient as possible for you. The call would take no more than a couple minutes. All right, no problem at all.
No. All right, thank you.
So how about the roof? Has it been replaced recently?
So I want to pause it there for a second. You know what? I love that from the AI because an ISA might have given up there, guys.
I
right?
would have. I would have been like, see you, sorry.
See you later. So the AI, I mean, the prime directive of the AI is try at least 3 times. Like if they want to get you off the phone, give it a college try before you actually give up. And it just moved on. It acknowledged the objection, and it just moved on to the next question. Check this out.
Yes. About 3
Awesome.
years ago.
That's awesome. Sounds like you've kept your home in pretty great shape. When you eventually decide to sell, are you planning on staying in this city, or are you looking to move elsewhere?
No. You can put it on the chair. Put this on the chair. I'm staying in the city.
All right, so you're staying in the city. Got it. Even if you're not ready to sell right now, I'd like to provide you with a package of helpful information relevant to your home. The next step
Okay.
is...
But can you call me later on this afternoon, like after supper? Because I'm really, really busy.
I completely understand. I can set that up for you. How about I connect you with Matt? I'll lock in that time for you.
Okay.
I'll check with Matt.
All right,
Great.
thank you.
It was great talking to you, Jay. I'm really excited to hear how your call goes. Let me know.
So, it booked that call. Matt called him later that day, and that is a qualified seller lead, right? So I love that call because again, the way, if you know how AI works, only about half of that call is scripted. Okay, the rest of it is the AI inferring what you want it to do, and following its prime directive, which is don't give up. Like stick with it. Stick with the conversation.
What I like, what I love is that was not as, so I've been calling all my life, right? I'm a telemarketer. Um, that was not a comfortable call to listen to personally, right? I was
Mhm.
like, I'm like anxious. I'm very anxious, right? Because I feel like the guy was really nice, by the way. But the thing that I love the most is that uh, AI always proves me wrong because it keeps going. And number two, this is just the very beginning because now that you said OpenAI is adding it, you notice that everyone here listening in, there's a slight delay. So sometimes they're talking over each other. That's going to eventually disappear. And that's when it starts becoming smoother, right? And the
Yeah.
fact, Gus, the fact that you got 22 with that is crazy and awesome to me. That's what I love.
And Tristan, the way I love to explain this to folks, because sometimes I agree, sometimes these calls can be a little cringy to listen to. There's cringe, 100%, 100%. Like Barry Jenkins says, our good friend Barry, if you're willing to, withstand 30 seconds of an awkward conversation with someone, your life can change, right? Because there's awkward
That's so
moments. There's
true.
awkward moments. There's awkwardness. Maybe should I keep pushing? Should I not? There's always that. And
Yep.
guys, the reason that people can be successful with these calls, the reason I can train kids in Mexico to make these calls, Tristan, is a lot of the effort and a lot of the result is just making the call, like having the conversation with them, like just calling and connecting with them, right? That is why, and this is, and I'm going to be, I don't want to overstate the power of AI. This is first contact. This is the first step in a journey. Okay. AI, I think, in this scenario, which is first contact, I think AI is going to dominate in the next 6, 12, 18 months. Like it's going to own this scenario because it's really good at this. Because it doesn't need a ton of context, Tristan. It doesn't know who Jay is. It has no idea. And guess what?
Yeah.
Anyone calling doesn't know who Jay is. The second call, third call, fourth call, that's harder for AI to do. Okay, at least right now, because it needs a lot more context and a lot more knowledge. And it's harder to impress people on the second call than it is on the first call in general. So that's why AI can do great. I want to show you guys another call. This is another good call because this next call, this one ended up being an appointment. This next call wasn't an appointment, but I still think it was useful. Check this out.
Hello?
Hey, Richard, this is Kate, an assistant with Matt McCormick's team. We got your message from Facebook about getting a free home evaluation. Is that right?
Yeah.
Great. So I need to go over some quick questions about your home. What's the overall condition? Have you remodeled in the past 5 years?
Yeah, it's in real good shape.
Awesome to hear it's in good shape.
I did the kitchen
Nice.
over 2018 and custom built cabinets
Roof?
and the roof last year.
Did you hear how she said? Like they were talking at the same time. How about the roof? There was zero lag there. That didn't work 6 months ago. You couldn't do that. Like it would just do a hard stop, 2-second pause, and then it would ask the question. That's like ridiculously good. I'm gonna keep it going.
Sounds like you've made some great updates. So when you eventually decide to sell, are you planning on staying in the city or are you looking to move elsewhere?
I'm not sure.
Got it. That makes sense. Even if you're not ready to sell right now, I'd love to provide you with a package of helpful info relevant to your home. The next step is for me to send this info over to my agent, Matt, and set up a quick call for him to go over the results with you. Does 10 a.m. or 3 p.m. work for you tomorrow?
10 a.m. would probably be better, yeah.
All right, I'll lock in that time for you. Just give me a sec to check with Matt and make sure it works. Hang tight.
Okay, yep.
Awesome. So I've scheduled your appointment for 10 a.m. tomorrow. You'll be getting a call from Matt, and he'll give you all the details about your home valuation. It was great.
Thank you.
So this is an interesting call, Tristan, because the AI, you know what it called this call? It didn't call it an appointment, actually.
What did it
The
call?
AI said, this is a nurture. There's no, they weren't willing to give me a clear motivation or desire to sell their home. Are you thinking of moving or thinking to stay? I don't know. They said, I don't know. Like, I don't know. You have time, and they didn't want to drill down further. It was ambiguous whether this person is even interested in selling or not. It was ambiguous. So it says, you know what, Matt, call this person. this is a lower standard than the other person I just sent you because there's no clear, the words they use, the tone they use, it's not clear to me that they actually want to sell their home, but they definitely want the home valuation. So give it to them, right? So I thought that was a really interesting call. And on the back end, because we know what happened at the back end, that was accurate actually, right? The first person had more motivation and clearer what they want to do. And this person was just more curious, right? Like they had done a lot of recent remodeling, home's in really good shape. Would you move? Not really. I declined to answer. Not really sure about that. Okay, great. No problem. We can still help you, right? Which is the right thing to do. That's exactly what you should do with leads like this. Add value first and then talk about listing later. Like they contacted you with the purpose, not to sell their home, but to get an accurate home valuation. And that's always the right answer. Okay. That's always the right answer. All right. Key takeaways from here, guys. Number one, props to our friends from Mescula. I'm really grateful because not everyone would do this, guys. Turn loose an AI on one of their best clients. Like, hey, you know what? Thank you so much for you guys giving a chance to prove this in the real world.
Good.
Number two, takeaway number two, AI plus ISA is killer. Like giving both. When the person actually talks to the human ISA versus the AI ISA, in my opinion, it's still not close. The human tends to do better, like side by side, person to person. But you know what happened here, Tristan? 80% of the appointments were set outside of the shift of the ISA. Okay. I'm going to say that again. 80% of the appointments came before 11 a.m. local time or after 7 p.m. local time. 80%. So what does that mean? It doesn't matter if a human ISA is better, because I still think they're way better than the AI. It's not close. But guess what? The AI works 24/7, baby. Some of these appointments were set at 5:46 a.m., Tristan. Are you going to call a lead at 5:46? I'm not going to call him at 5:46 a.m. I'm just not, right?
Well,
it's hard to do that.
Let's be clear on something. The lead that came through at that time, right? So
correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So one of the best conversations I ever had ended up being a multi-million-dollar Beverly Hills home was at 1 a.m. while I was in New Orleans at what's that New Orleans place called?
Bourbon Street. You're on Bourbon Street. Of course you were.
And I'm like, I go, it's a Zillow lead, right? So I literally took it. I'm like, hello? And dude, you can't hear shit. But he's like, oh, I didn't think anybody would. And I was like, that was it right there. But yes.
Boom. So the magic happens outside of office hours. I mean, that's just, we've always known that. It's very hard to scale that. It's very hard to do that consistently. AI, in my opinion, AI is a solution to that. It's a solution. If you take a human ISA or a really good agent and they're only calling 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. local time, you're going to miss at least half of these appointments. You're going to miss them because they're on the web. They have other options. They don't know who you are. They don't know who Matt is. They don't know who Mescula. They don't care, right?
Yep.
They were able to reach out to them first and get the conversation started faster. And I think that's where getting great results. AI on its own is not enough. So I don't also, like I said, I don't want to overstate what AI can do, guys. AI is great for when you're not calling. It's the best. Side by side with a human being, I still don't think it's there. But holy cow, does it do great when the person isn't calling. It's like the next, it's way better. It's better than AI texting. It's better than like self-booking, better than everything else, right? I think it's awesome. You still got to follow up and nurture with these leads. If you want all the details, check out that case study with Matt McCormick. He's awesome. Special offers. I'm almost done. Almost done. One more minute. Special offers here. Folks, if you want a copy of this deck plus these AI voice samples, shoot me an email at info@PowerISA with the subject that includes AI Sellers Deck. Okay. You can put whatever you want in the subject line. As long as it includes that phrase, AI Sellers Deck, we will automatically shoot you a copy of this presentation and the AI voice samples. Special offer number 2. If you want to try AI helping you convert those inbound leads, shoot us a message. Would love to talk to you. We have a special offer out for you guys. You probably saw it throughout the presentation. And special offer number 3. If you thought Mescula was really awesome, which I think they're awesome, because not only do they have some great creative, they have an in-house human ISA team. They're also they're a client of Power ISA Voice. They're implementing voice for all their clients now because they were really impressed with the outcome of this case study, which was awesome. So you can book a call with them right there. Bit.ly, Mescula offer, jump in there and you can book a call with their team as well. So That's it, guys. We made it. Only a couple minutes over, right? Not too bad. Not too shabby. Hope you guys have a really, really happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everybody. Gregor, nice to meet you. Gus, great job. I want to see the progression of this AI, especially when you're adding OpenAI into it over the next few months.
That's going to be a game changer, man. It's a game changer.
Gregor, when are you guys adding the OpenAI voices?
We're already working on it. We're just finalizing a couple of tweaks, but yeah, we're rolling it out to all of our clients. Like now, the team is working on that.
As we speak.
What have you seen the biggest difference is right now from what you were using to this?
From what we were using in terms of human ISAs, you mean, or?
No, AI. AI versus what? You just switched over to OpenAI from what?
Oh,
Oh,
no,
sorry.
they switched over the Power ISA voice. Yeah, they didn't have any AI voice before. They only have the human ISA team.
Got
And
it.
we have we obviously still have the AI chatbot, SMS, and so we're adding on the AI voice.
Perfect. All right, we'll talk later then about it. I want to know more. Gregor, nice to meet you, Gus. Great job. Thanks everybody for jumping in.